Hi, I am going to start the first PUC syllabus with our third lesson in our textbook. The first lesson, physical world, the weightage for that lesson is only 1 mark for PUC. And to learn that lesson, if you have some idea about this motion and if you have some idea about the other lessons, then we can learn that physical world very easily. But because of the less weightage, I am going to start the third lesson, and some of you may ask me why you are not starting with the second lesson. Second lesson, after completing the entire syllabus, then we will come back to the second lesson, that is units and measurements. Why? Because that second lesson consists of all the formulas that we are going to learn in first PUC. So based on those formulas, then we will come back to the second lesson. So let me start with the motion in a straight line, that is third lesson in our first PUC. This motion and rest are the relative terms. That means both are relatives. First of all, what is meant by rest and what is meant by motion? Before learning about the rest and motion, so first let me explain about the mechanics. So what is this mechanics? Why? Because the first PUC consists of 15 lessons. In that the first part of our textbook is also known as mechanics, because most of the lessons are based on motion and the cause of motion. That's why we call it as mechanics. So what is this mechanics? Study of motion and its effects. So what is meant by machine? Machine means it moves. The system, that a machine will have so many parts which are moving relative to each other. So due to this motion, they are producing some final product. So there is effect of that machine. So here mechanics related to machine. So here mechanics is divided into 3 parts. The first one, statics. Second one, kinematics. Third one, dynamics. So what is this statics? Stationary, railway station, bus station. So these are all stationary. That means the position of that places or that object will not change with respect to time or with respect to the surroundings. Now here in statics we will study of bodies at rest. Now what is kinematics? Kinematics is study of bodies in motion. Only about the motion. But what is the cause of motion? Why a body moves? We don't have any idea. That means we are not going to discuss about that one in this kinematics. We may have idea. We have known the fact behind that one. We know the fact. But we will not discuss about the reason behind the motion of a body. The reason being discussed here, we will discuss about that one, that is force. That is study of bodies in motion and its cause. So these are the 3 parts of mechanics. So where statics is the study of bodies at rest. So what is the use of studying bodies at rest? What are the effects of the bodies at rest? Suppose if you take your house, this is your house. So your house is at rest. Your house is at rest. That means the weight of the entire house is acting downwards, mg, where m is the mass of the house. At the same time, earth has to exert an equal and opposite force on the house. If earth is unable to exert that much force, the house will collapse. That means a body at rest can show its effect on the earth. Similarly, if you park your car in front of your house, So here also the weight is acting downwards, and next day if you go to somewhere, if you take this car from here to somewhere, you can see the marks on the earth. That means the effect of the car which was previously at rest can be seen on the surface of earth. While walking on sand, you can see the footsteps in the sand. So here, even though you are walking, but if you stand for a long period of time on the sand, and if you remove one of your leg, you can see the footsteps there. That means the effect is there. That means when the body is at rest, it will show some effects. By using the concept here, we can live in a house and we can stay in a car when thunderstorms are coming in this direction. So this will learn in a second POC. It is safe to sit inside the car when we have lot of thunderstorms around us. So when it is at rest also, it is protecting us from the climate or atmosphere. Now similarly, in this kinematics, this is the study of bodies in motion. So what is the use of studying this kinematics? Here in kinematics we will study the bodies in motion. So what is the kinematics? Study of bodies in motion. So what are the effects of bodies in motion? If a body is moving, it will have momentum. So this word mass into velocity, momentum. So what is meant by acceleration? How much acceleration I have to give to reach a particular place? How much time we need to reach a particular place from our native place? So to calculate the time, we need to have some idea about the kinematics. Similarly, if you throw a body, after how much time the body will reach the same point? So for this calculation also we need kinematics. And similarly, if you take one more example, a body is moving, one ant is moving from one corner of the room to the other opposite corner of the room at a constant velocity or maybe with some acceleration. So in this case also, we can calculate the time taken by this one to reach the other corner, or we can calculate the velocity acquired by the ant on reaching the other corner of this room. So all these are possible. Already we studied this in school standard as kinematic equations. V is equal to u plus at, s is equal to ut plus half it square, v square minus u square is equal to 2as. In all those cases, we have studied about velocity. So here mainly we will study about position of a body, how the position changes with respect to the time, and distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration. So these are all the terms that are related to kinematics. So based on this one, we have some applications and we can solve some problems. So based on this one, we will derive the equations of motion in this lesson. Next one, dynamics. It is the study of bodies in motion and also its cause, that is nothing but force. So we will learn about this force only in a dynamics lesson. So dynamics topic, because the mechanism is divided into three parts here. Statics as well as kinematics we will learn in a third lesson, motion as straight line, motion as plane. But dynamics starts from the fifth lesson, that is the laws of motion, because we will learn only about the force from the fifth lesson onwards. So first, second, third, fourth lesson, or including the first lesson, we will not use that word force there. Here the cause of the motion is force, and we will learn about the force and types of forces, that is contact force, non-contact forces. For example, this actually divided into contact and non-contact forces. So this is contact, this is non-contact forces. Suppose contact forces. Now, if you take a body which is placed on the earth and it is placed on a table, for example, now there exists a force between these two, that is a table and the block or the body. So this force is called friction force. Friction exists only if these two bodies are in contact with each other. But whereas if you take a body of mass m1 here, this is m2 and these are separated by some distance r. This is m2. Now these two are separated by some distance. Even though they are not in contact, these two exert a force which is called a gravitational force that we have studied in school standard. So this is a non-contact force. So we will learn all about these forces in dynamics under lesson number 5, lesson number 6, lesson number 7, lesson number 8 gravitation, lesson number 7 rotational motion, rotatory motion, and this is work, energy and power. So in these lessons we will learn about the different types of forces like frictional force, contact force, gravitational force, so on. Here we will discuss about the rest as well as motion. What is meant by rest and what is meant by motion. Let me take a body is placed at point A. So this is a point and here I placed a body here. And let us say the time is 10 a.m. Now after some hours, let us say at 2 p.m. the body was present at point A only. Then the body is said to be at rest. Between this 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. the position of the body has not changed. Then the body is said to be at rest. For example, if you take our railway station somewhere, this is a railway station. The word station is related to this only because it is at rest with respect to time. Yesterday the station was there only, today the station is there only, and tomorrow station will be in that position only. That means, let us say your house is at a distance of 100 meters from the railway station. So yesterday the distance between your house and the station was 100. Today it is 100 meters and tomorrow also it will be 100 meters. That means with respect to you, the station or the railway station is said to be at rest. But what is meant by motion? For example, if you take your vehicle, your father is taking a car and is moving to somewhere, he is going to somewhere. So when he is moving from here to here, with respect to you, when our father is here, he is at a distance of 20 meters. Here 40, 60, 80, 100. So he is moving away. That means with respect to the time, the distance between you and your father is increasing. That means your father is said to be in motion. So how to define this rest as well as motion? So first one, rest. A body is said to be at rest a body is said to be at rest if its position does not change with respect to time. This is WRT, that is with respect to time. That means whenever the time is changing, if the position of the body is not changing, then the body is said to be at rest. Here railway station is said to be at rest. Why? Because as the time passes, the position of the railway station will not change. So it will just at a rest. Now what is meant by motion? Same thing, a body is said to be in motion if its position changes with respect to time. Not only time, sometimes we can define this in terms of surroundings. Now, at present, my surroundings are this board, and also this camera. So these are my surroundings at present. But after 2 hours, let us say I went to somewhere. If I go to somewhere, then my surroundings will change. So even though you are not finding the time, you are not taking the time into considerations, whenever the surroundings has changed, we can say that body is said to be in motion. So your surroundings has changed. When you are in a school, your surroundings are your friends only, your benches, your teachers. But now when you are watching this, your surroundings are different from those previous surroundings. That means you traveled from there to here. You changed your position. So that means at present you may be at rest. But if you take a period of 2 hours, 2 days, 2 weeks or 2 years, your surroundings might have changed. That means you have traveled from there to here. So let us say you studied 6th class somewhere in your grandparents' village. Now you are studying PUC in excellent PU college. That means you travel from there to here within a gap of 5 years. But the time we have to consider. But if you take the surroundings around you, now the surroundings are different. But 1 year back, your surroundings are different because you are in school, now you are in college. So here we can define this: a body is said to be at rest if its position does not change with respect to time or surroundings. Or surroundings. Similarly, a body is said to be in motion if its position changes with respect to time or surroundings. So this is these two terms, which are rest and motion, are the relative terms. Why? Because actually speaking, there are no bodies in the universe which are completely at rest, and there are no bodies in the universe which are completely in motion. Suppose you may think that you are watching this video at rest, but with respect to the space or with respect to moon, because our earth is rotating about its own axis, you are also moving along with the earth. That means with respect to the people who are watching from outside, that means not from the earth, from somewhere, so you are said to be in motion. That's why absolute rest and absolute motion have no meaning. But every time to define these, we need to take the surroundings, we need to take a relative position or relative point. For example, if you take one platform, this is a platform, so this is a train, so these are the bogies here, first one, second one, third one, and this is the engine. So in this case, let us say your friend is going to somewhere, this train is at rest. So you are watching from the platform here, you are watching from the platform. So for you, the train is at rest, your friend is also at rest. But if the train starts to move here, your friend is moving away from you. So here the distance between you and your friend is here only 2 meters distance. But when the train is in motion, let us say it is moving away slowly, initially it moves with less speed, then the distance between you or your friend will gradually increases. Your friend will reach somewhere here after some time. So the distance between you and your friend has increased to x. Previously it was 2 meters, now it may be 20 meters. With respect to you, your friend was at rest initially, now your friend is in motion with respect to you. But what about your friend's position with respect to the co-passenger who is just sitting opposite to your friend? So this person, for this person, the distance between these two persons is not changing, whether the train is at rest or whether the train is in motion. In both cases, the distance between your friend and his co-passenger, a passenger who is just opposite to him, that this distance never changes. Never changes. That's why for you, your friend is in motion. For the co-passenger, your friend is at rest. So this is the relative terms, both rest and motion are relative terms. The only thing is, if time changes, position does not change, body is said to be at rest. if surroundings are changing with respect to position of a body, then the body is said to be in motion. So we will measure this rest or motion with respect to time as well as with respect to surroundings. Stop, madam.